Hello, everyone. Happy New Year and welcome to another Injustice 2 mobile video. For the first video of the year, we're going to start with a bang, a very big bang. We're going to talk about the teams that we're going to use to one shot every boss in tier 5. So, usually, tier 5 in every solo raid is the most difficult one. In this case, we have Silver Batman, we have Captain Cold, we have Black Lightning, of course, which is one of the more annoying bosses, but we're going to take care of him. We have Mr. Freeze, and we have, I believe, Atrocitus. Yeah. So we're going to take care of each of these bosses. We're going to discuss the best teams that will make each of these fights easier. The first one, of course, is Silver Batman. Now, Silver Batman, it doesn't really have anything that makes it difficult to select a team. So what that means is that there are some bosses that we say, okay, the disable gears on maybe on might and meta human characters, or on tech characters, or on agility characters, or they may be immune to stun or immune to dot or something. So those things restrict the teams you can use. If a boss is immune to stun, then Heartbreaker the Queen won't do much for you. In that case, you want to switch to EPI or use any other thing. If a boss maybe disables gears for might characters, obviously he wouldn't want to use Batwoman the Drowned. So yeah, for this particular boss, you can use basically any character. And my strategy generally for bosses that don't have any special, like they don't have anything that disables a specific group of characters, I usually just choose to use Raven plus a damage dealer to take care of those bosses, because most times you see that your other characters will be better suited for the more specific bosses. So I think it's the safest option to use Raven plus any of the damage dealers. So in this case, I'm using Raven plus Raiding, but you can use Raven plus King of Atlantis Aquaman, or Raven plus Black Manta, or who else? Yeah, Raven plus Blue Beetle. Yeah, Blue Beetle too could work. Raven plus even Mr. Freeze could work. So I just choose to use Raven plus Raiding because it's the simpler option. Or sometimes I use Raven plus King of Atlantis Aquaman. Both of them work basically the same way. You are going to be able to one shot boss Batman. And yeah, I want to correct a mistake I made. I said the last one of the last sub boss is boss Atrocitus. No, it is not boss Atrocitus. I believe that is boss Aquaman. I just remembered now. So yeah, I'll probably correct that while I'm editing the video. Anyways, yeah, so the next boss is boss Captain Cold, and for this boss is I feel the best character you can use here, or rather the best team you can use here, is the League of Anarchy team. And yes, this is another boss that, yeah, there are a couple of characters that you could use here as well, but I am choosing the best one for each boss. So if maybe I use any character here, you could find that that character is better suited in a different fight. For example, if I were to use Beast Boy on this fight, Beast Boy will take care of this boss, but it will mean that I won't be able to use Beast Boy on another boss where Beast Boy will absolutely be needed. So that's why that's the whole essence of this video. Who should you use? Who is best suited for a particular boss? And for this one, like I said, League of Anarchy combined with Girl of Steel is perfectly suited to take down this boss. So yeah, uh, the first one was Raiding and Raven. I'm always getting those two names confused. Raiding and Raven for boss Batman, and for boss Captain Cold, you want to use the League of Anarchy. And yeah, League of Anarchy does huge amount of damage. Uh, like, even if you don't have Gale of Steel, because I know some of them might not have Gale of Steel, but you might have Zatanna, because you know that Zatanna drops for free from solo raid. She has a solo raid, and she has 15% chance to drop in the heroic segment of her solo raid. So yeah, you may have Zatanna and you don't have Gale of Steel, then obviously you could now use Zatanna here instead. The only difference is that Zatanna gives you 300% damage boost, while Gale of Steel gives you 400%. But with Zatanna, you're also going to get health reduction, up to 30% health reduction. So I think that makes up for the extra 100% damage that you are missing out. So yeah, even the gameplay is basically the same. You stack damage from Zatanna, and stack negative effects from ZP. And once you have your 300% damage and you have done health reduction with Zatanna, you would just now switch to using just API, using a special 3, and you switch to using Gale of Steel. No, rather using Heartbreaker Harley Quinn to do the actual damage in the match. So yeah, Zatanna and League of Anarchy, or Gale of Steel and League of Anarchy, and you are set. Next up is Black Lightning. So in this match, you want to use this is one of those matches, and I said it earlier that there are some bosses that when fighting them, they have specific modifiers that make certain teams useless against them. And this is one boss. So this is the fight that you could you could make an argument for using Batuma the Drowned, maybe using just Batuma the Drowned and Robin King, maybe even using was it Justice Gilatan, but killing Justice Gilatan off and just switching between Batuma the Drowned and Robin King. That strategy could work, but the only issue with that is that this boss disables gears for might characters. So that would mean your Batuma the Drowned is not going to hit nearly as hard as she would in other like as she would if that passive or that modifier wasn't there. So this basically rules out all the might damage dealers you could possibly use. It rules them out. I've said it before, you could use King of Atlantis Aquaman, but he's just going to do hit reduction. It's not going to do more than that. So unless you don't have Batman the Giant, so rather, unless you don't have Beast Boy and you want to just do some health reduction to reduce the boss's health, then clean up, I'll suggest this is the thing to use. And yes, that's another suggestion. If you do not have Beast Boy, of course, most everybody's going to have Power Girl. If you don't have Power Girl, you could use Dr. Fate. But if you don't have Beast Boy, then obviously you can't do what I'm doing in this video. What you want to do is now do health reduction. So use some of any health reduction character you have, use them, reduce the health as low as possible. They could now use a team like Batman Ninja team. That team cool. Batman Ninja team is generally okay for cleanups in random tagging. Yeah, basically any other team that is not might that can do some damage, you can use that to clean up this boss. But of course, that's the long way around. I really hope most of you have a Beast Boy at this point. If you don't, try and get him. You only need him at 3 stars. You get his gears and you are set. 3 stars, get his gears, you are good to go. You don't need so much. You don't need to have thousands of dollars or whatever. Just get him once at 3 stars and you are set. So yeah. And some of you might say, why didn't you use Black Manta in that match? Because somebody suggested on a video I posted earlier of Black Lightning. I think somebody said, why don't you use Black Manta with Beast Boy? It makes it easier to get started and apply your negative effects and all of that. And yes, why that is 100% true, this video is about the best characters for each boss. So it wouldn't make sense for me to use Black Manta and Beast Boy against boss Black Lightning, and we have a boss Aquaman. You know that anytime you see anytime Black Manta sees boss Aquaman, he's always excited because this is his chance to one shot. We know that free to play Black Manta cannot one shot without Raven. That's just the way it works. You can't one shot with even if you have two maxed support artifacts, you can't one shot without having Raven with Black Manta. You can do decent damage, you can do decent damage for cleanup, you can even use Black Manta to clean up Black Lightning. But if you have a decently built Black Manta, even if like maybe 4 stars or 5 stars maxed out, you have decently leveled artifacts, you are going to clear Aquaman very, very easily with Black Manta. Black Manta loves to fight Aquaman. 300% incoming damage is no joke, guys. We know incoming damage is counted as a multiplier. It's not an additive damage. So that's why whenever you are using Black Manta against any Aquaman character, whether it's Silver Aquaman, whether it's triple A batteries, or whether it's King of Atlantis Aquaman, you know that Black Manta is going to be excited. You know that Black Manta is going to destroy that Aquaman character. And yes, please and please do not use, unless, okay, let me give you a caveat. Unless you have Black Manta, but you don't have Black Manta gears. If that's the case, yes, there's no point using Black Manta to fight Aquaman when you don't have his gears. But if you have Aquaman with his gears, even if you have Black Manta with his gears, even if it's just 4 stars, use Black Manta to fight Aquaman. That is going to save you like a lot of pips. Yeah, so use your Beast Boy directly with any power reduction character like either Dr. Fate or Power Girl. I prefer Power Girl because Power Girl will be destroyed easily since her gears won't be activated. Yeah, so then you can use your Aquaman, your Black Manta rather, against boss Aquaman. Now for the final fight against Mr. Freeze, the last video I showcased of Mr. Freeze, I destroyed him using Beast Boy. Beast Boy remains the best character to fight Mr. Freeze, but Beast Boy is better used against Black Lightning. So if you have used your Beast Boy against Black Lightning, what are you not going to use against Mr. Freeze? That's where Metal Team comes in. Batwoman the Drowned and Robin King are a perfect alternative against Mr. Freeze. One thing you want to have, you want to make sure you have an artifact that applies burn on your Robin King. So either you have Zatanna's Puppet, or you have Sword of Sin, or you have, there's one other artifact from this story that also applies burn or applies fire basically to the opponent. Any artifact that's going to apply burn or fire, use it on your Robin King so that you don't have to be worried about the bombardment that comes from Mr. Freeze. Anyways, that's about it for the video. I hope these teams will help you, will guide you guys in taking care of these bosses, making it simpler for you. If you enjoy my videos, guys, smash the subscribe button. We just hit 2K subs. I'm grateful to you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.